Hello and welcome to Mad About Sports for yet another live stream. And we are on the eve of the third Test match, which will be played between India and England in Rajkot. So we are going to be talking about all those things around the Test match, about the squad, about the possible playing 11, the controversies regarding few Indian players. Because whenever we are here, especially when I'm here with Antariksh, we have heated discussions on the controversies. The Indian cricket is never short of controversies, as we like to believe. But welcome Antariksh on the show. And before we get into today's video, I just want you all to look into our course on cricket analytics. We are running a 5-day workshop on cricket analytics. This is an opportunity for you all to maybe make a career in sports and for pursue your passion. A lot of people wanted to play cricket at a very young age, but don't worry, you still can make it to the Indian team's dressing room or your favorite IPL franchise dressing room by calling all the strategy and the shots by being a cricket analyst. So this is your opportunity. Check it out. Without further ado, let's get straight into live stream. Antariksh, welcome on the show. How have you been, and what do you think of the series so far?
Yeah, I've been okay in terms of the cricket that I'm seeing. I don't think it's been a good series for India till now. I've not been happy. I've not been happy from the management till the whole sort of performance that we've given till now. The issues start from top and then they run till the bottom. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to discuss, I think, today.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's a lot to talk about today, especially when it comes to a lot of things. Especially when it comes to the squad. But where do we begin, right? That's the biggest question. It's always hard to pinpoint and start. We'll begin. Yeah, we'll start off with how the series has been for the Indian team so far. I think we can talk about the Shreyas Iyer point, right? Now, Shreyas Iyer is officially dropped out of the squad. The third and fourth and fifth Test matches there. Virat Kohli doesn't make it to the squad because of obvious reasons. Personal reasons is what he likes to say. But other than that, let's look at the squad. When you look at the squad, Shreyas Iyer is obviously dropped. And then you've got Sarfaraz Khan is still part of the squad. Devdutt Padikkal has been called in because KL Rahul will not be available for this Test match. And to add to which, Ravindra Jadeja is back. How do you see this? Because a lot of debutants in a particular series, not a good thing, right? You're playing at home and so many debutants, it's never going to be an easy series for you when you have so many people making debut.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing's for sure now that we have officially like gone past Cheteshwar Pujara now, right, and Ajinkya Rahane and all of like two of them, and which I don't think is justified. I still think
Yeah.
that they had good careers in front of them, a good 3 4 years, and I think someone like a Shubman Gill and probably the whole middle order, like the range of shots that they've played. Cheteshwar Pujara was someone that could have really guided them towards, cementing their positions, cementing
Yeah.
them as test match players, right? And not just one day players who've been just included in the squad. So I'm really, really, really surprised and disappointed at the same time about that because, yeah, I mean, one down, anyone who comes into a test match, like their prime job is to wear down the new ball, right?
Yeah.
Make it easier for number 4 5 6 to come in and bat, be it any conditions, right?
Yeah.
If it's spinning, soften the ball. If it's seaming, just
Yeah.
yeah, just make the ball old. So anyways, so yeah, once that, and then yeah, as you said, too many newbies coming here around the block, and to be honest, none of them really excite me as prolific test match players. Maybe as good IPL talents, maybe as good white ball cricketers.
What about Sarfaraz Khan?
Again, Sarfaraz Khan, see, he has been fantastic, but he's of the same crop that 50 balls, 55 runs, 150 balls, 200 runs, the baseball kind of flavor that goes on. And fair enough, he's done it in Ranji over a lot of years,
But
but
this guy has the ability to play 300, 350 balls as well, right? I mean, this
no, no,
guy's
no, no.
put
Of
1,000
course,
runs ball.
of course. My point being that the first instinct of all of these players is to not
Attack.
survive, right? Like, yeah,
Attack.
exactly. And attack, again, I don't mind attacking, right? I just mind the way these guys then get out. I was so disappointed in both the test matches. See, England do it, it's their style and stuff. Hamara, to it's like a style bhi nahi hai, right? Like,
Yeah.
baseball se bhi khel rahi hai. Like,
Yeah.
either you make it your style, right? Either you make it your style, don't go on defensing your way in fourth innings and then getting all out under
Yeah.
150, right? Don't do that. Either make it your style or don't. But this being stuck in the middle, quote unquote, trying to play the situation isn't really helping us go anywhere.
Yeah.
One place that I really want us to have someone who can finish and someone who can hit hard is the wicket keeping place. And unfortunately, Rishabh Pant thing has happened.
Yeah.
And KS Bharat just seems another
I think we
Riddhiman
can talk
Sehwag.
about it. I think there's a huge discussion on that. We'll come to that. But as you mentioned, temperament, I'd like to put that as the biggest question mark.
Yeah,
And I thought even in the last test match in Vizag, when India batted, they had a good opportunity to score decent amount of runs. Let's be honest, we batted first and we could have scored 500, 600 runs and sealed the game. But 398 odd on that good track. I mean, trust me, if it was a decade ago, I bet Murli Vijay, Pujara, these lads would have piled on 500, 600, 550 runs and taken that
yeah,
game away. I mean, I'll take you back to 2016 when the same English team came. We scored 600, 550 runs and we batted once and we batted that's it. And it was better pitch. It was worse pitches than that. These pitches are much better than what you
yeah,
saw. I mean, at least in this series, it has been better. And
yeah.
that's what I really pity, as you mentioned, temperament being a factor, including Captain Rohit Sharma himself. Even when Shubman played, he looked like he was going to get out any point, and good that he scored the 100. Will do a world of good for his confidence. But other than that, Shreyas Iyer extremely disappointing. But let's talk about this factor now. Obviously, Shreyas Iyer dropped, justified.
Yeah, yeah. I think you could have dropped Rahul. Maybe not Rahul now because of that South African tour. But what I mean to say is any one of those three people, right, in the middle order, I think any one of them who would have been dropped, it probably would have made sense because yeah, like they as a whole are not performing. I saw reports. I don't know how accurate they were that even Shubman Gill was on his last chance saloon
Yeah, he
in the
was. He
previous
was.
test, right? So I mean, yeah. So that's been the case, and that's why like we are simply lacking test match experience there. Like it is as clear as anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty justified now. Now it's going to be important to see who fills up the role, man. Because I'm not very. I can't pinpoint someone. कि अच्छा ये करेगा ये करेगा. I don't know.
Yeah.
Patidar. I don't know. I don't want to be judgmental too early, but these Hanuma Vihari, Patti, all of them. I don't know why they just seem to be of the same crop. I don't know when would we get those technically sound, astute. I don't know. Maybe there's only one Pujara.
I,
That is
I found a couple of them in the under 19 World Cup. Maybe they'd make a
yeah,
big transition. At least I
maybe.
thought the captain Uday Saharan was great, and Sachin
Yeah.
Das looks like a very good breed of
Yeah.
players who can make it to the next level. But it's a long way away from them making it to the big
Yeah, they
stage.
lost in the finals, so their Indian DNA अच्छा चल रहा है.
Don't. Let's just not go there. At least I thought we are over finals and ICC knockouts for
Yeah.
some time. That's a bilateral series, and this Mastercard and Paytm series really helps us really
Yeah.
not talk about it. But as you mentioned about the technically sound players, how do you see the Indian middle order tomorrow? One factor you mentioned, Shreyas Iyer did not really belong there. I think Shubman Gill has got that extra bit of rope now that he scored that 100. He might be there for another couple of games at least. If he continues scoring runs, obviously he can extend his run. But now, no Virat Kohli, no KL Rahul. Rajat Patidar was a one-match old, and Sarfaraz Khan making his debut. And from whatever reports you are hearing, Dhruv Jurel is making his debut as well. So a very, very inexperienced Indian middle order against an English team who is really looking to pounce on us. So how do you see that? Because it's a very interesting thing that you had to go past KS Bharat at some stage. I had to bring that topic up because average of 20 in 12 test matches is very bad.
It is. It is.
12
And
innings at least, not test matches, 12 innings.
yeah, I mean, it is. So just before going there, I mean, so my problems start with, as I said, right at the top. And what I mean by that is, see, we just recently went to South Africa and played the shortest test match ever in the history of test cricket, right? Kyun? Like I get it. It's a five. Like, why are you changing your identity, yaar? Make rank turn. I want those. I love rank turners. Like, I don't see. What we're doing is we're playing in the hands of England. It's like you replace spin with pace. That is England for you under baseball. The
Yeah.
pitches that they're making now in England are similar to those in India just in terms of conditions. Tum change kar do.
Hmm.
They've removed that grassy, that airy, that breeziness about them because they want pitches now where 600 can be scored in probably 120 overs. Like in a day
Right.
and a half, they need pitches. Like they're doing that in their whatever is that called John Karanji Trophy. I don't know. I forgot the name.
Yeah,
So
county championship.
yeah, county cricket. So that's what they're trying to do there. And now essentially you're doing the same just with spin. You're giving them half decent tracks where it spins, but it spins at the pace of I don't know Earth revolving around the sun. It's that slow of a pitch. So it just plays into their hand. Like, own your identity. Have a 2 day test match, have a 3 day test match, at least two of them. Like, why are you just flipping your
Do you think
like
India is scared because they believe their batters are not technically good enough to play spin? And
maybe
after that, after that Hartley attack on them in Hyderabad, they feel like our spinners are nullified with turning pitches, and their spinners are also potent enough, and our batters do not have enough credentials or technique to go out there and play. Even likes of best players who spin like Shubman and Shreyas have been struggling, and they've been in very bad position right now. So maybe that's the reason you reckon.
maybe, but I think it's just got to do more with, us just being, that we want to win it. Like, at the end of 5 match series, we'd be like, now what? Up to hum jeet gaye on a non-spinning track, this and that. I saw a lot of this in the commentary as well. There was Dinesh Karthik and Ravi Shastri. When we were dominating the first test match, it obviously looked like we were going to win it. So they were like, it's not even spinning that much, and it's really a good batting track, and it's India who's come out on top. So it was like, it's just that we want to, like, we don't want to take the series home. More hai ki hum
Yeah.
pehle point prove karenge. I don't really like
I
it.
think that's where let's bring this discussion of spinners as well, right, Antarish? I mean, you pointed that out. So far in the series, Indian spinners have been averaging 33, English
Yeah.
spinners have been averaging 23, and Indian spinners have just managed to pick up cumulatively 23 wickets in the entirety of the series, and English spinners have picked up 29 to 30 wickets, 31 wickets rather. And our only match winner, if you look at both the test match, has been one fast bowler who we've been blessed with in this generation called Jasprit Bumrah. Take his spell out, we would have been 2-0 down anyways.
Oh, absolutely. Matlab, I, we talked about it. We talked about some time back that history will just not do justice to Jasprit Bumrah. One, because he's Indian, and not because he's Indian, because he'll play on Indian pitches. So had he been somewhere in Australia, in South Africa, in England, he would have been in that 600-700 wicket category in test matches, right? That is first. And number two is that, like, as you just saw, right? Like, he doesn't get you 8 wickets, right? He doesn't have to, because he would get you wickets when probably no bowler else on earth would get you wickets. You give him the flattest deck possible, he would bowl that Ollie Pope ball. He did this in South Africa. He did this in to Pakistan in the World Cup, right? When he bowled that spell, right?
Yeah,
He just balls, and he balls with like all of his heart, and it's just a blessing to see him, an Indian fast bowler who just loves to hit the deck so hard, and who just wants to take wickets, who isn't there to just mess around and, okay, fifth stump pe dal deta hu, oh kabhi bhai. No, he just wants to go out there. He wants to learn. He's willing to experiment and yet be disciplined. What I haven't liked about Ashwin, I am in such a see. Ashwin is such a great bowler. He's a legend of his generation. But कभी कभी मुझे लगता है तुक्का ही लग गया भाई उसका. I don't know, because he's such a disciplined. He's, as I said, he's a legendary bowler. But I don't know, with his years of experience behind him, he can't bowl 3 balls at a single place without a variation. I've just seen him, right? In India,
yeah,
especially. He just gets over enthusiastic. And I just
yeah,
think someone with the brain of Ashwin, is it becoming too much? Because we saw Hartley, right? And so much credit goes to Ben Stokes. I just
yeah,
feel right now at this point, they're over crediting him for non existent things. But one thing that you really need to credit him for is when Hartley was getting pumped in that first innings, right? He
mm,
doesn't make that effort in the second innings if he's taken off in the first. He
yeah,
doesn't get those wickets at all, because he gets for what, 60 runs in 8 overs, and he's taken off for the day. He won't bowl in the second innings the way he did.
yeah,
Once he got that first wicket, then that second wicket in the first innings, that is when he pumped on into the second innings. So good captaincy there from Ben Stokes. And this is something that we need to learn of, right? Like,
hmm,
I don't know, the likes of Mukesh Kumar, right? If you're playing him, या तो देखो चौथा स्पिनर खिलाओ, या तो एक और बैट्समैन खिलाओ. Like, don't be pretending to play 5 bowlers and then just bowling with 4. Like, then what's the
yeah.
point? You're losing out on a batsman anyways. So yeah, a lot of things need to, go into places.
Yeah, you made the right call there. Just pretending to play. The Mukesh Kumar selection was bizarre, in my opinion as well. It just didn't make sense. He was going to be targeted anyways. I don't think all fairness to Mukesh Kumar, the bowler, but I don't find him exciting at all. He's a
Yeah.
very, very mediocre bowler to be playing for India. I don't find him exciting. I don't know how he makes it to India's T20, one day, and Test squad time and time again. Test I still can understand in overseas conditions, He's got that line and length. He can hit one area when the pitch does something. He can maybe do something for you. But other than that, on flat Indian wickets, you're going to give Mukesh Kumar. You're going to go at a run rate of 6 or 7, and that's exactly what England has done. You mentioned about Ravichandran Ashwin. I just want to ask you this question as well. 500 wickets is eluding him right now. That's a milestone. And Ashwin, you would like to say he's never been carrying on milestones, but Ashwin has been someone who's always taken pressure, right? Let it be when the batter goes against him, when it comes to attacking him, or whenever he has picked up those 450 or 400 or 350, 300, all ahead of Nathan Lyon. But this particular milestone, Nathan Lyon has gotten past him way earlier. Now he's on 499 and stuck there. And he's been trying to do a lot of things. He's not bowling. He's been changing his run up. He's been coming from the side. Why do you have to do all this? As you mentioned, is a big question mark. Do you think milestone is a major factor in this?
Maybe again, yeah. I just think I've noticed, right, in the past 2 3 years. I mean, Ashwin has gotten us a bunch load of wickets, but he's done that when the wicket's been spinning, right? Like when the wicket's not spinning, you're such a natural spinner. You undercut the ball, and then you have the ability to spin it as well. Not many people do. Like we know with Akshar Patel or Ravindra Jadeja, they can only how much ever they try to spin the ball, overspin the ball, they are not able to as effectively as a Nathan Lyon or as a Ashwin. And
Yeah.
then he has that arm ball to go with it, where he undercuts
Yeah.
it. It goes quicker through the air and onto the pitch. You have that skill set. Why can't you look at Hartley? Look at what Todd Murphy did, like when he came to it. All of these guys are coming to India on seemingly spinning decks, which are not spinning at all, and at least at the pace with which they should. They come in on their debut, they take 10 wickets, and we're here trying to experiment because it's almost like we're used to, right? कि Indian pitch है, मेरी ही सुनेगी और किसकी सुनेगी. It's almost that grandeur
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
comes with it, right? I'm the king here. I don't think that should be the case, and it's not overconfidence. I'm not trying to sell it that way. All I'm just trying, it's impatience for me.
Impatient.
You're being very impatient, right? You have this mindset that they're not very spin friendly batsmen, and then I'm the king of spin here, and it's the Indian wicket. I'm obviously going to get wickets, but as
Yeah.
we know in international cricket, nothing is guaranteed.
Mhm.
So just hit the line and length good, like for a consistent
Yeah.
time. I'm sure he could literally rip through the England for that matter any batting
Yeah.
lineup in Indian conditions. But he just needs
Absolutely.
to hit that fourth stump, fifth stump, give it air, give it time. It's going to happen.
You're right, because you don't have to do a lot, especially of someone of Ashwin's caliber. When he does this, it's kind of frustrating, but obviously, I hope there's a plan behind it. But talking about which, now we did mention about Dhruv Jurel making his debut. If he
Yeah.
makes his debut, how do you see him? Because again, there's a lot of expectation for an Indian keeper batter to deliver. It's not going to be easy. He's a young player, just coming off a decent domestic season, played well for India A, both overseas and at home, and has got the potential. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, this guy can do
Yes.
something. We all know that he is not maybe the blue-eyed boy of something of that sort, but he can do something. He's got the potential to maybe be better than KS Bharat, than what a number 6 for India is offering right now. And on top of this, how do you see him come out? Because it's not going to be easy for him to go out there and make his debut tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's certainly not going to be easy at all. He seems to be like a prospect, as you mentioned, right? I have been following him, not quite a lot, but decent enough, especially post that saga with Nitish Rana, whatever has happened here and there. So I was like, okay, so if Delhi is ditching someone of Nitish Rana's caliber, ditching or
No,
whatever,
that's you're talking about Yash Dul. I think this is Dhruv Jurel. This is the keeper batter.
yeah. See, this is where I got them mixed. Oh, so he's Dhruv. See, now the whole thing is gone because that was Yash Dulu who I was talking about. Now
Yeah,
Dhruv
yeah, yeah.
Jared, I take my words ekdam back. He's not someone I've followed at all. So yeah,
Okay, no.
yeah. He's someone I've not followed. Then yeah, Yash Dulu it was. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then I'll go
Happens,
with your
happens.
word.
All of them are a very similar category. I mean, you are
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Under
It's so hard. Dhruv
19.
Jurel, yeah, he's a guy who played as a finisher for Rajasthan. If you remember
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
last season,
Rajasthan.
the
Yeah.
guy, he's got
I
something
mean,
about him. Let's be honest,
if
he's got
if he's
some
a
talent
finisher,
with him.
no, if he's a
Yeah,
finisher, I would love him because I would love him because I want someone who can play out the way Rishabh Pant does. I am a big fan of
but yet another player of a very similar mold, like you were talking about.
exactly. मैं वही
Yeah,
बोलने वाला था. I would love that when you have Pujara up top and Rahane
Uh-huh.
up top, who can then stabilize the ship, and then Rishabh Pant. But agar sare hi Pant ban rahe, then it's a different proposition.
Yeah, you're
But
right. I think a very interesting point which Antariksh has put up, because I personally think you're right. If you remember Australia series which we won, right? You had a Pujara batting in one end. That's what enabled Rishabh Pant to do what he did.
exactly.
If not for Pujara or maybe for Rahane, maybe we would not have done well over there. And you're right. I mean, if you look at our test dominance under Virat Kohli era, so much of it have to be given credit to Murali Vijay or a Pujara. Not maybe not Rahane as much in India, but Pujara especially. These both, and Virat Kohli himself. Virat Kohli is not your flamboyant 100 runs
Yeah,
of 120 balls. He used to take
yeah,
his time. Whenever Virat Kohli scored runs 200 balls, 100, he knew how to
absolutely.
bide his time. So I think that's something which we are going to miss a lot, and I hope the new generation, if we are going to if you're going to approach Test cricket in a certain mindset, so be it. But I want to ask you personally, because now we did speak about him from the top of it. How do you see the Sarfraz Khan selection? Because he's fought his way through, right? I mean, it's not been the easiest for Sarfraz Khan. He's one player. Everybody in the country wanted him to make a debut, and he's going to be up against a very decent England team. So England has named two pacers for tomorrow's game. It's Mark Wood and James Anderson. So he'll have to deal with a Mark Wood who has troubled him a little bit in IPL, if you remember, and James Anderson, who's again back to his peak all of a sudden at the age of 41. He's troubling Indian batters by not giving away anything. And then he's a good player of spin. There's no doubt that Sarfraz can play spin, but then it's not going to be easy against these two far pacers, especially.
Yeah, I mean, पहले तो ये देखना होगा that would he get the chance? Like, because now we've gone with Rajat
I think he
Patidar.
is getting a debut, is what I'm hearing, 100%, because there's no other option. Other options, Devdutt Padikkal, which I don't think he'll fit into that
No,
top
wait,
five.
then who goes out? Who goes out?
So there is no KL Rahul, there's no Shreyas Iyer. So it's the same team except the Shreyas Iyer
Okay,
and KL Rahul.
Iyer played the last one, right?
Yeah, I'll play the last one.
Okay, Rahul didn't, right? Rahul didn't.
Rahul didn't. So
Yeah,
Sarfraz
so
at 5 and Patidar at 4. And then you have
oh,
Shubman
good,
at 3.
good,
And
good,
Dhruv
good.
Jurel
And
at
then you,
6. So it's a
oh
very
wow,
inexperienced middle order.
oh wow, good. But it excites me. I don't know. It excites me.
Or
Yes,
else
yes.
I'll give you another option, that is to play Jadeja at 5 and continue with Akshar at 7.
Who'll be 6?
Dhruv Jurel. So that means
Okay.
Sarfraz doesn't get an option or an opportunity.
I think what's going to happen is maybe Akshar Patel would take off, Ravindra Jadeja would come back, and then these two enforced changes, and one, this guy, Shrikar
So
Bharat goes out,
your
and
4, 5, 6 is
yeah,
cumulatively one test match old.
yeah, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, ठीक है, you could play Jadeja, and then what? You'll have 40, 50, 60 tests.
Or else you can do Jadeja at 6 and Dhruv Jurel at 7. You can mix and match a little bit.
I mean,
Just
the order could change, but the main point here is that yeah, we could see a lot of debuts and a lot of second test matches here and there. So that is going to be interesting. And I don't know why England keeps doing this bar. It gets on my nerve. They keep releasing their XI 24 hours earlier. And
Yeah.
मेरे को बड़ा गुस्सा आता है. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the match, but I just feel, yeah, like क्या need है? But it's working. I don't know. It's a statement
Yeah, it's
thing,
working.
as we discussed it earlier as well, right? It's maybe to get in the head or confidence or whatever. But ठीक है. I mean, see, like bringing in two fast bowlers, right? Had they announced it on the day itself, at the time itself, it could have been a surprise, right? Oh, okay, ye ho raha hai. But now it's right. Shoaib Bashir goes out, right?
Shoaib Bashir goes out.
Yeah, so it could have been a surprise. We could have been in for three spinners, and then we just have two. So I think, yeah, but that's the way they go about. I mean, that's England.
Did you see that pitch? Did you happen to see that pitch in Rajkot? It looks green.
Okay, that's a new one then. ठीक है. I mean, in India, as they say in test matches, you can never really tell anything till you go out there and play the first session. Maybe even till the second day, you're not sure as to how the pitch is gonna go. Go on.
And you're also expecting Siraj to be back, right, instead of Mukesh Kumar, and that's how it's going.
Adi team change ho gayi fir to. Wow, that's like
Yeah,
half the team.
it looks like we are the ones who are 2-0 down in the series or something like that. But either way,
Yeah.
it's forced changes at the end of the day. It's injuries and some pull out and some drop. But we'll talk about something very interesting now about BCCI selectors being angry at Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer. So I'll narrate you the story. So this goes back in January when Shreyas Iyer was asked by BCCI to play a domestic game for Mumbai, and Shreyas Iyer conveniently denied by saying that I'm injured. So Ajit Agarkar led selection committee said that then in that case we're not going to consider you for the Indian national team as well. The next day the man is on the field playing for Mumbai because he was told that he's not going to be considered for the national selection. And Ishan Kishan, on the other end, he told BCCI that he wants to be out due to personal reasons, and he decided to pull out of the Indian national duty in South Africa. Fair enough, but he was seen partying in Dubai for whatever reason. That's his personal choice. That may be the way of relaxing. We don't want to get into that. But after that, when he was asked by BCCI, "Are you ready for this particular English series?" he says, "I'm still not available because I still want my personal break." But he decides to train for IPL with Krunal and Hardik Pandya. Now BCCI has come out very heavily saying that we're not going to consider you anymore for national selection if you're not going to play red ball cricket for Jharkhand, which is the last group game. How do you see this whole thing? Players showing reluctancy towards Ranji Trophy and wanting to start practicing for IPL way before IPL has even begun.
IPL, bro. यही IPL यही करता है. I mean, yeah. The best thing is if you really have the guts, Indian cricket, don't consider them. Do not consider them at all, right? He makes sure that he has to have the best IPL that anyone's ever had for him to have a sniff at the ICC men's cricket team for like T20 team, right? Make sure that, right? See, if you're Shikhar Dhawan, okay, you're at the cusp, at the end of your career, you've basically settled the thought that mera comeback test team mein to nahi hone wala, right? So he's out there. He has started his journey with Punjab, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So he's out there with them, and he's joined the camp like ek do players, and he's one of them. Fair enough, आपने decide कर लिया because you're that age. But for someone like Ishan Kishan to be doing that, I mean, see, as you rightly said, right? Let's not parting thing mat dalo isme, right? Because he was not shy away in going out. He said for personal reasons, for mental space, and for clearance and whatever. तो ठीक है वो उसका तरीका, as you rightly said, right? This is not part of the argument. The part of the argument is you're fit enough, you're okay enough to be training for IPL, and then you're not considering playing for Jharkhand. So I was happy when Rahul Dravid came out and said that he's not made himself available for selection and he has to play
He's
domestic
not playing
cricket.
matches enough. I think that's a clear indication from Indian.
Exactly. Good. Very good. So that's pretty fantastic.
I have another question to you. It's something related to IPL. It's a book of controversy now. Mumbai Indians, a lot of these players are associated with Mumbai Indians now. Do you think this Hardik Pandya captaincy fiasco has made players to pick and choose now? Now there's Hardik who's instructing few of his players to the Raja, mere saath train kar. Don't worry about those guys over there. And there's the rift which is happening. Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya. Even that is affecting Indian team as well. It's a Mumbai Indians thing, but then slowly but steadily, players are picking sides. And this guy is supposed to be a Mumbai Indians ace opener. And alongside him, you're already seeing Jasprit Bumrah, Surya, Rohit being one side, some of the youngsters taking the Hardik Pandya side. How do you see all this play out now?
See, this is like any other thing in the world, right? Mobile phone aaya, everyone was like, oh, our world has changed, this and that, and now seemingly the cons are overtaking the pros. Same way IPL aaya, oh wow, flurry of talent, blah blah blah, ye talent ko mauka mila, experience, pressure jhelna aa gaya, everything, international stage, experience, sharing the dressing room, blah. And now here you have the cons taking over. It's like, and you see this trend, worldwide in all of sports, right? Money influx, player power. We football, like we follow football. We know how much this affects football. Money ka influx and how like people of my club miss training and then go party in the neighboring country's capital. So this is what happens. Wahan pe bhi mental health ke liye they want a lot of leverage, but then when they're seen partying, no apology is expected. So it's like a whole like Chakravyuh, a whole revolution in terms of how money influx is just made. Players are just getting ahead of themselves, be it to the owners, be it to the managers, coaches in cricket, or be it to older players like Rohit Sharma and all of the elder players who sort of in line, if not discipline may not be the right word, but professionalism, right?
Yeah,
professionalism, just pure professionalism.
You mentioned that, and you mentioned football, and it takes me back to a statement which was given by Rio Ferdinand a few years ago. He was talking about how England team was in the 2006 World Cup. Now he went on to say that when the team entered the dressing room, it had superstars, right? Lampard, Scholes. It had the best of team players coming together, Gerrard. But they never got along. David Beckham, Gerrard, they were like, it was a club rivalry which kept them together from playing together for England. That they never had the passion because they didn't want to play for each other. I always felt it will never come into Indian cricket because I thought it's a 2 months thing, 2 months window. क्या हो जाएगा? मतलब, what will happen? Like, you fight, you get back, right?
Yeah.
And I remember Virat Kohli telling this in 2017, right? When this whole rivalry, this IPL hitting this, he told that I've given a clear instruction in the dressing room that there will not be any sledging from an Indian cricket team player to another Indian cricket team player at whatsoever reason, because we believe sanctity of dressing room and the relationship is very important. And now, culture has changed. Obviously, Virat Kohli has handed over his baton and whatnot, but what we worried about is slowly taking over.
It is. I had no idea about it, about the Rio Ferdinand quote as well as the Virat Kohli quote. So yeah, but both of them are spot on because this is what's happening, right? I mean, rivalry se zyada now it's like personal, I don't know, vendetta, vengeance, or just thought processes just not matching up.
Yeah.
And IPL was, again, as I gave the phone analogy, was never meant to be the primary source of, I mean, everything, right? Primary source of Indian cricket kabhi nahi hona tha IPL ko. It just had to play a helping hand. But it's overtaken. And see, this is directly related to money. Big Bash aisa kar raha hai kya? Do we hear anything about the Big Bash, about the South African T20 or whatever goes on there? No, right? It's PSL that we hear about it a bit because, again, from them it generates a lot of their board's revenue, right? And then it's IPL that has gone on. So I mean, this is what money does. Like, wow, like
Yeah.
they've got contracts of 2 crores, 3 crores a year. Then they have brand advertisements worth 10-15 crores a year. They need to perform for 2 months a year to secure those 10-15 crores of brand endorsements with social media brands coming in now. That's just only rising now. Why do they need to be professional for 12 months now? Right? We all know they're the best personal chefs. All they need to do is count calories and maintain a body that any other person does in our age group without them having the luxury of that much money. And then cricket is just cricket. Hum log bhi khelte hai for fun. So why do they need to be professional for 12 months? Like, give me a
Yeah,
reason.
you're right. You're right.
No, they don't need to be. They absolutely don't. At least football mein to ye hai ki aapka club football goes on for 10 months and international is for 2 months. You have to be, because otherwise you won't play and your brand gets damaged sooner than you realize.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'll be in Seoul FC like Jesse Lingard, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, but in cricket it's the quite opposite, and that is what I was really scared of. And Virat Kohli saw it 7 years from now. It tells about the whole intensity of the thing that has been going on for like the past decade now. So it's really catching
Yeah.
up with us. Hopefully, big heads of Indian cricket like Rahul Dravid, maybe Ajit Agarkar, someone, you need to be that. Again, we're going too much into football analogies, but you need to be that Ten Hag right now, right? चाहे रोनाल्डो हो, उसको बाहर बैठो, no indiscipline would be sort of allowed. Good step by Rahul Dravid to say that he's not available for selection because he's not playing enough. Good by Ajit Agarkar to point out and everything. If we take these steps, surely, and you know what? There are a lot of.
It's good. They are now back in the Mumbai team and the Jharkhand team because they were forced to. Because they
Exactly.
knew that their contracts will have
Other
issues.
end of spectrum, Abel, there are a lot of surfarazes in this world, in this country, that are just begging for that one chance. And then I'm not having anything against Kishun, but then I would have to call it a luxury to be dropping out of the Indian team, right? To be dropping out of the Indian team and then not going back to the original roots of Indian cricket.
Yeah.
Then, you have the surfarazes of this world waiting, pouncing for that one opportunity. Even Mukesh Kumar at the age at which he's made his debut, right? Albeit whether we like him or not, but that's a big achievement.
He worked hard for it. There's a beautiful story, Mukesh Kumar. For a lot of people who do not know, he had an issue with his bone, and he was told by one of the coaches in Bengal that he'll never be able to ball fast. But the guy has fought all of those issues, medical issues, and has gone to play for India. It's a beautiful story in itself. I mean, we have our own qualms when it comes to him, his selection in the team, his talent. But let's be honest, he has worked his way out, right? He picked up 45-50 wickets in Ranji Trophy. Let's talk about Akash Deep, who's recently got selected. He has worked his way out. These guys had to migrate from different states to go play cricket. And then these guys are picking and choosing. Okay, there's an interesting question now that a lot of people will ask about Virat Kohli's personal reason. Before we end, we'll talk about that as well. What do you think about that? A guy who scored 27,000 runs deserves to take a series off?
I mean, I have no problem, right? I have no problem. I just, overall issue रहता है मुझे विराट कोहली का उससे, because like but that's just a modern game which like too much privacy, too much ये वो, like again a different analogy, but I remember Shah Rukh Khan's quote, right? That like everyone who does drama over this stardom, right? That is what you've worked for. Like keep your hand on your heart and look yourself in the mirror and say you didn't want this all along. You really wanted this. You want people begging for your autographs. You want people screaming your name, 50,000 people, and then don't be complaining about this.
Yeah.
So वो मेरे को generally problem रही है थोड़ी कोहली से, privacy थोड़ा सा ये वो करो. But that's been a general trend of how the whole sporting world is shaping. But in terms of him taking a series off for whatever personal reason, see, now you don't have to have a reputation for it. There's a quote, not a quote, but like a line which was said that it's his first series off in 13 years. First home series off in 13 years.
First series off in 13 years. First test series off in 13 years.
First series off in 13 years. So there's your answer. There's always a first, and it's okay.
I mean, that is where what kind of annoys me as well. Now we talk about, so a lot of people were comparing Ishan Kishan also to personal reasons of then why Virat Kohli. So the reason is he has scored 81 hundreds for your own sake. That guy scored 81 hundreds, 27,000 runs, 29 test hundreds. He has made India win. He's captained India all this while. If Ishan Kishan achieves 1/4 of it or half of it, I think he deserves that personal reason off, and he can come into Indian team without any issue. But Ishan Kishan has barely won test 100 here. And he's barely made a name for himself.
This is what we need to remember, right? There are a lot of memes being made out of it, but if you look at the serious side of it, there's the other side. When his father expired, right? We all know the story about that.
Yeah.
Right. When he had to make his mark, when he wanted to contribute to the nation or to his own career, okay, let's forget the nation, to his own, he did what he did, right? And now when he scored, as you said, 81 hundreds, and we all more or less know, like De Villiers ne bola, nahi bola, that why is he taking that off? We more or less know why he's taking that. Maybe five matches is a bit too much, but I don't think it would have made much difference. Such a fourth or fifth test mein aa gaya. So he thought, why not just take the whole thing off? So again, the 81 tests, the reason behind it, and how he has been when he was young, right? It wasn't like he was chilling off since when he was young. So Virat Kohli is something else. Virat Kohli had cheeks like me, right, when he was 23. So that is when he himself decided to go off and become what he's become. So Virat Kohli, to whoever is saying, come on. Right.
Yeah, to be honest, yes, you're right in pointing that out, because he is fair on him for him to take that break. And I think we've discussed a lot, not just about the test match which will take place from tomorrow, but in and around the test match, because we have to talk. These were some points, because this is related to the test match in itself, because of selection, because of the debutants who are going to be up on the screen tomorrow. I hope India has a good test match. We'll be back tomorrow again, talking about day one and how things progressed. And hopefully we have a good day and India goes on to take a 2-1 lead in Rajkot. And we'll be here pretty much happy. We don't want to be here coming with grumpy faces, criticism. We get very few days when we come here and appreciate Indian cricket. Hopefully our youngsters don't disappoint. I have a lot of hopes on Sarfaraz, Rajat, Dhruv, whoever is making debut, and also with the openers. I want Rohit Sharma to score runs. That's about it from us. And once again, I remind you all to check out our course with Mad About Sports if you're new here, because this is your opportunity to really pursue your career in sports. If you have a big dream of landing in your favorite team's dressing room, calling the shots, and making a dream career, getting a good package of salary, this is your opportunity, because cricket analytics is blooming with so many leagues across the world. You can be there in midst of things. You can discover maybe the next Shamar Joseph. Remember, one of Shamar Joseph's story in itself was discovered by a cricket analyst. So you could be the guy who could discover the next big talent in the world and make your team win a big title. So check it out. The 5-day workshop is here. The link is down in the description. And have a good day, all of you. Subscribe to our channel. Share this video with as many people as possible. See you all soon. Bye-bye.